Hello and welcome. This is Ducks in Space, and I am Casper Clemenson, and you're looking at the endless space. No, what you're looking at is the white star, or my hack of white star, called White Ducks in Space, which I'm running simultaneously as my WhiteBox Ducks in Chainmail campaign. So I'm going to introduce this endless star universe here, in which we're going to play solo RPG using mainly the white star rules, but with modifications. Let's introduce the characters. We got the ship's pilot and the main character, sort of. This is Elke Elk. I made another video where I actually drew them and rolled them, but the content was so long, it took like 3 hours, so I thought it would be easier just to introduce them. I haven't rolled any or written any backstories for them yet, other than I've been inspired to make some portraits and some drawings of the crew. And we also have a ship, but I'm going to introduce that last. But this is the pilot. She's going to be the leader of the team and fly our spacecraft around. So yeah. And next up we have Misat, our alien mystic. He's looking like this. We still haven't found his personality, although you might guess that he's sort of a happy-go-lucky alien with lots of different languages. He's sort of like the slapstick. And if we go back to Elke, actually, she's okay, good with her laser pistol, but she's not a fighter per se. And for that role, oh, by the way, the alien mystics are the equivalent of a spellcaster, but they're not quite as squishy, and they can wear armor in this game, but only light armor. So yeah, yes, Misat is our spellcaster. And what would actually Elke be in white box setting? I guess she would be sort of the ranger or the thief. Yeah. So, and lastly, we have our here we have up to the flailbutt, and he's sort of our fighter. He's a combat robot. I think he was found on a planet somewhere, belonged to some evil warlord who had lots of machines, or maybe he was just dropped there or something. And I picture him a bit. He's the only one with sort of a backstory. I picture, when I say him, I should also mention that he's non-binary, as is Misat. But anyway, he was left, or maybe his master crashed on this sort of prehistoric planet with loads of dinosaurs, or dinosaur-like creatures. But he somehow survived, just battling around, maybe losing his mind. But he was found by Elke Elk and reprogrammed as good as she could. So maybe he has some flashbacks and runs amok now and then. But as you can see, he's a combat robot with 2 flails and a laser cannon. So yeah, as I said, I still have to figure out their personalities before we actually get going. So let's actually get Ilke back, because she's the main character after all. And then let's get back to the ship. So this is their spaceship, their starship. And I looked in, that's one other thing I should mention, a little disclaimer. I am completely new to White Star. So I have to read up a lot still, but there are going to be starship combat. So, and we're going to travel around from planet to planet and around in space. So we had something to fly around in, and that's also why I made a pilot class, because they're the only ones who can fly a starship unless it's totally, completely automized, which this one is not. And then I was looking just really quickly at the spaceships, or the starships, and there aren't that many, I think. So I sort of, because the idea I have for Elke and the crew is that they are sort of the Robin Hood of this galaxy, whatever they're in now. She's not a pirate, but she is sort of a Robin Hood who steals from the rich and gives to the poor. That is at least my idea so far. So maybe she is with some, maybe she's highly regarded somewhere in some autonomous systems, but she's definitely, to the main system, she's definitely an outlaw. So that will cause them a lot of grief and trouble, I think. Anyhow, I looked in the White Star rules, and there's this specific starship that's called a blockade runner, which is normally used by or favored by pirates. And I made a little lighter version of that one, but I took some fewer hit points, and added some more movement, and I added a cloaking device so we could disappear from all these pirates. And we're getting into that, all of that later. So I had to quickly to build a starship. I do think that they could have added at least, I mean, to my taste, at least 10 more battleships, something like that. I felt it was a bit few, maybe. But nonetheless, I had to make one, and it was pretty easy to make one. So what's the problem? Yes. So, and by the way, it's called the Shark. Maybe I actually wanted to give it a double name, like the Silver Shark or the something like that. But let's just call it the Shark right now. Yeah. And what else? Yes, I have also made a hex map using HexKit 2. with some downloadable space map. I can't remember what it's called right now. Sorry about that to the creator. But I use stars without numbers to generate. I don't know if it will fit with White Star yet, with the White Star rules, but I could see that there were campaign worlds, or I think there was one or two in the book. I haven't looked into it, but I made my own using stars without numbers. So that's that. Hide that again. Yeah, and I have no idea, by the way, in which sector or hex we start yet. Usually you would start in the middle, but I'm not sure we're going to do that. There is an interesting sector in the middle. We could actually look it up. The middle one. Let me have a look. Did the next map go? This one. Yeah, it would actually fit. There is it has the system, or it has a star system and a planet. So I haven't. I guess you can see that they have several planets, but one is known so far. And this hex map is very abstract. So just to begin with, one planet is known, and there's a star system. And on this planet, they have a psionics academy and anthropomorphs. So that's, and I guess in a Duckberg-like setting, every character is anthropomorph. But anyways, it would fit with that middle one, I guess, that we come from there in some way. Yeah. What else? Yeah. I don't know if I should introduce my dice, but anyways, they're here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What I should introduce is the, where did it go? My resources I'm going to use. One sec. And let me quickly switch over, because I'm going to use Chaos Reigns by Clips for combat. But as I said, there are rules for space combat, starship combat. And it's much like ordinary melee or combat in WhiteBox, so it would be easily transferred to Chaos Reigns. I would have to look into that though, and I haven't made that yet. So, and what else? And then maybe I think I'm going to use here. You can't see it, but I'm going to show it to you. I think I want to use my second camera as well. These are story cubes. I think I'm going to use story cubes as I am in Docs in Chainmail. And because I'm not really used to sci-fi adventures, and when I play Ducks in Chainmail, I would usually have some generators. I do have Gum, bit also, but I want to keep it simple. So I might have to look into some sci-fi generators as well. Perhaps there's even some for White Star, but I haven't really looked into that. And finally, I'm going to show this, which you won't really be able to see because I have to make it wide. Where did it go? I need to move it up. This. I have a battle grid. If I remove I have quite many windows open here. Yeah, and it's obviously going to be white, but actually I think we could change the. Let me see if I could in OBS change the color of the grid. Yeah, yeah. What do you know? Look at it. That's actually perfect. But maybe actually remove it. Not remove it. Move it underneath here, so it's not in the way. Yeah, so I'm going to be using this battle grid for man-to-man combat and range combat and starship combat. And then I will be using, maybe actually I should, I don't know how big my grid actually is. Let's check it out. Yes, this is the total extent of it. I could maybe duplicate it or make it bigger because I think I would need a bigger map for space combat. And here I will of course use some sorry, some buttons, but I will have to I haven't made that yet. I have some old buttons I use. Have to make a green screen for my table here. So there's that. But I will get around to do that later today. So I guess that's it for an introduction. Get Elke back up. So yeah, very much looking forward to this. So this was just yeah, I had hoped I would share the video where I drew the characters and rolled the characters, but it was simply simply too long and very boring and only good if you, I mean, if you suffer from insomnia or something similar. But 20 minutes, I mean, that's a new standard for me. I haven't made a video lasting 20 minutes, so I'm going to check out here and see you later. Space Cadets.